There are so many things in this book that I cannot wait to start stitching. Guys, I'm Michelle. This is my romantic tangle, and in yesterday's mail, I got a copy of Creepy Cross Stitch by Lindsay Swearingen. The folks at Page Street Publishing sent me this to do a video, and I thought I would love it. I was not prepared for how giddy this book was going to make me. It is the photography, the paper, the images and the patterns. I am just agog over how wonderful this is. I first stumbled across Lindsay and her company, Tuscan Cardinal, last Halloween, and I love her stuff. I have not stitched any of it yet because there are only so many hours in the day and you can only stab the needle so many times, but the projects in this, there are 25 of them, and I probably want to stitch more than half. They're divided into sections, and we start out with Dearly Departed and Springtime in the Graveyard. I love the colors. I love that everything is on black fabric. I love the way that these are staged. This one is Thistles and Bones. I am doing my best to hide the glare while at the same time not showing you patterns. This one is Lover's Grave, and this is at the top of the list of things that I want to stitch from this book. It says Together Forever down at the bottom, and I don't think those trees are willows, but the way they are leaning together, I can't not stitch that. Which brings me to my one complaint about the book, and I want to love absolutely everything about this book. The charts are color, and I'm going to show you just enough to make my point, I hope. The greens are similar to one another. I expect that it will be a bit difficult with my vision to determine between the different greens. I am stubborn enough and I want to stitch this pattern enough that I will do it. It's also grass, so if you miss one or two, it's not going to make a difference. And it is only on a couple of patterns where there are a lot of greens together. I think there are 4 or 5 different shades of green in that graveyard grass. So just something to be aware of. And like I said, it sounds so nitpicky to complain about that, but I think I'm going to struggle when I stitch them myself. The greens are not as distinct as I wish they were. Take a look at Dead Berries and the little ghost cat. I want to stitch everything. This one is Illuminated Ghoul. That's the cover design. And then we move on to Haunted Homes. And this is where the good stuff is. Well, it's all good stuff. This one is Former Homeowners. Again, we've got fantastic dead trees. Baba Yaga. I am totally stitching that one. I did not go through and figure out how many of the 25 patterns I think I'll stitch, but some of these I definitely, absolutely, 100% I'm going to stitch them for me, and some of them I can see stitching as gifts for friends. This is Welcoming Committee, Welcome Home. This one is Witch's Cauldron. Oh, we're now on to a different section. This is Dark Florals. Cranium Carnations. Dark Deco. I just love her florals. And Bell Jar. Look at that. I want to stitch that. And I will tell you that on the page for Bell Jar, it only gives you a portion of the picture. But a lot of these are depicted more than once through the book. So if you don't see something right next to the pattern, it's probably in there somewhere. And that now we're on to spooky rooms. If you watch my channel, you will know I love houses and doll houses and interiors. And so I knew I wanted this book for the skeletons and the florals. I didn't know there were going to be rooms in here. This is Haunted Hearth. This is the sunroom. And yes, it is very pink, and I've recently complained about pink dollhouses, but look at it. And look at the ghosts just standing there hanging out. Mid-century haunted. Look at that rug. And the they're not pom-poms, but the stitches that I think are supposed to represent pom-poms, and the plants, and just everything. This one is Witch House. I can see sewing a quilt and stitching these all up and then finishing into them with a quilt that has like a dollhouse outline. That is one of my goals now. And now we are on to creature feature. Here's the Grimm. Wouldn't these make some of these make great journal covers? Audrey, if you're watching, look away. This one is Gentle Monstrosity, and again, I think it would make a fantastic journal cover. Audrey, you can look back now. White Rat. And this one is Hidden Lodgings. Take a look at that. There is an artist who does doll houses in old vintage taxidermy. And I cannot remember her name off the top of my head, but that one makes me think of that. And it's another one I think I want to stitch. And now we're on to vintage Halloween. Look at Fright Night. Look at these ghosts that are trying so hard to be scary, and I don't think they're quite pulling it off. And it's got a cat. I love Halloween cats. This one is Shadows on the Moon. Trick or Treat. I love these pumpkins. And again, these are all on black fabric, so there's a lot, tremendous impact, and it's not full coverage stitching. Haunted Wings. Look at that. And it's got the berries. I want to sleep with this book under my pillow. Like I said, it just, everything except for those shades of green on the chart. If those weren't tough to distinguish between, this would be my perfect dream cross-stitch book. I love it. And there were only 2 or 3 patterns that I think are going to be challenging because of the colors. The rest of it looks clear and easy to stitch and all the things. It has got directions for how to cross stitch. It's got instructions for how to frame pieces in hoops. It's got so much great staging and ideas for how to display the patterns. The patterns are wonderful. I'm gushing, but this book is totally gush worthy, especially for those of us who like to keep our Halloween decorations out year round. I cannot get giddy enough about this. Let me know if you've seen it. Let me know if there's something in here that you are going to stitch. Of course, let me know if you know other sources for great spooky cross stitch, because they're my favorite thing. I'm Michelle. This is my romantic tangle. Thank you so much for watching, and thanks to the folks at Page Street Publishing for providing me with this review copy, and the author for creating all of this gorgeousness. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back with you with more videos soon.